Hi everyone, and welcome to yet another video from Mallorca, Palma Nova in this case, like you've most likely never seen it, because we are showing you how Palma Nova in Mallorca is in the winter. Because a lot of people have been asking me, is it worth coming out to Mallorca in the winter time? And this depends a little bit on what you're looking for. Actually, here in Palma Nova there's two quite nice hotels, the Son Matias and the Globales. Don't know the exact name, San Juan or something like this. This one also normally stays open and is quite popular with retirees in the winter. They do this kind of deals where you can come here for like a month for 700, 800, 900 euros like this and stay in the hotel. They have these glass walls, so even in the winter sometimes it gets a little bit windy, you're sheltered, you can stay at the pool. And normally the temperatures are quite nice in the winter, even though they're not always guaranteed. So Mallorca, for these kind of people, retirees who like to come here, especially from Scandinavian countries and the colder countries in Europe, is quite popular. Now it's the year 2020. This is why these hotels are not open, because we all know 2020 is a little bit of a different year. But also cyclists, they like to come here. People who like to do sports and these kind of people. So we're going to take a little bit of a tour around all the way to the other end of Palma Nova, and you will see on that end it's also a little bit more busy, there's more things open. And then later on we're going into Magaluf, which is behind me, and we're going to do a live stream from there as well. As always, if you're new here to the channel, my name's Yves. I run this channel about the Spanish islands, so all of the Spanish islands, also the Canary Islands, Menorca, Ibiza, Mallorca, Tenerife, Gran Canaria, Lanzarote, Fuerteventura, all these islands here in Spain. I lived on most of them, I worked on most of them, and I also had holidays on most of them. So I do know a little bit about the islands in Spain. If you're watching this in the live stream and you have any questions about holidays here, maybe not in winter but in summer, if you're planning your holiday now for next summer, do know that you can always write me in the chat any questions, and I try to answer them here live. If you're watching this in the replay, then you can also go to my website, checkholidays.com, where you will also find all my holiday advice. Well, let's say hi to some people who are in the chat here. Babak Sadeghi, thank you for joining us again, and the kind words. Hi Eve, people like you who take us to the most beautiful places and beaches in this quarantine period are very valuable and respected. Thank you very much, bro. You're very welcome. If it is for anyone now Christmas, it's the 24th of December. I know some countries do it 24th of December, which to me is a little bit weird. I always thought Christmas was the 25th of December, so in Belgium we always celebrate the 25th of December. But if it is Christmas for you, happy Christmas. I hope you have a great one, and hopefully a better next year. Because this year for a lot of people was weird. Also for me it was a difficult one, so I hope I can travel a little bit more smoothly next year through Spain. Because this year I just came from Tenerife, now I'm in Mallorca. But that's basically all the traveling I did in Spain this year, because it was so difficult to fly, and with all the measures that are in place for people's safety. So hopefully it can get sorted soon. There seems to be more hope on the horizon for a bit more smooth 2021. Well, let me just cross here for a second and then we'll continue. So this beach is the Son Matias beach. There's actually 3 different beaches here in Palma Nova, and in the summer of course you have sunbeds here and all the restaurants are open, and there's like boats going from here with parasailing and things like this. So it's a bit tricky. Let me just focus here for a second. And doing like the banana boats and things like this here from here, but Now it's winter. It of course looks a little bit different. If you want to see videos, of course I'll also be here in summer. Subscribe to the channel, and then you will easily find on my channel also many summer videos about how it is here in summer, as well as the rest of the island in Mallorca and all the other islands. So if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. If you like watching these live streams, also give it a like. This helps you actually, because YouTube will better understand that they need to suggest more of these videos to you. So if you haven't done yet, subscribe and like. It really helps out you and of course the channel as well. Tony, afternoon Eve. I've been to Palma Nova many times, never in the winter though. Yeah, there's not many people coming here on winter, but as you can see later on, there's actually quite a few places who stay open here in winter. So you will see a lot of the restaurants and things, because there's a lot of because it's so close to Palma, there live a lot of local people here who live here all year round. So it's not only like a touristy resort. There do stay a lot more places open here in the summer. In the winter, I mean. And we'll do this walk from Palma Nova all the way to the end, and we come back a little bit of the back streets and things like this, so you can see some of the things there as well. We'll be going like weaving in and out, and then later I go to Magaluf. I think I'll continue the live stream straight into there, but then later I cut this into two separate videos, the Magaluf one and this one. Babak Sadeghi, hi again. What's the last news about UK tourists? I don't want to comment on it too much, because these videos stay online so long, and it does change quite fast. But I would say the last thing I've heard, like pretty much all flights out of the UK were cancelled. So or we're not allowed to fly to any of the European countries at this moment in time. So I don't know, the best thing is just type it into Google, click on news, and then sort the news by latest news. You can do that, and then you see like the last updates of the last couple of hours. Because it does change very fast. Yeah. But this is more or less how you would find Palma Nova in winter. I would say maybe 20-30% more places open normally, if you're not traveling in this year of 2020. Especially those hotels are open, then there's a lot of like retirees from the UK and stuff coming there for like a couple of months or a couple of weeks. It's really cheap to come on holiday in the winter to Mallorca. You can easily find a place for like a month here for maybe 600-700 euros or something like this. And the hotel here on the right, it looks quite a mess now. It's the Melia Calablanca, but if you have need of inspiration of where to go, then you can look on my website, go check alldays.com and Mallorca, and this one is one of the ones I really advise there. It's adults only, so no children, very nice and relaxed right next to the beach. And I know a lot of people who came here in the summer, of course, and who very much enjoyed it. So, but now, as you can see, it looks totally different as it will look in summer when they clean it up and make it nice. Oscar says hi. Oscar, I think you're new here. It's a name I haven't seen yet. I think I would remember. But this is always what people ask me, is like, how is the weather here? And as you can see, the weather is quite nice. There's a lot of people chilling in these beach bars, and it's December 24th, so it's like right in the middle of winter. There's people playing beach volleyball and chilling. So and this is why the lady is walking around with the reindeer as well on her head, because it's getting really near to Christmas, or it's already Christmas, depending on how your country celebrates it, what your traditions are. Here in Spain they have a really weird one. I think it's with New Year. You're supposed to eat 12 grapes, which I think is quite strange. Yeah, the weather is quite nice. As you can see, this beach restaurant is open. How's the weather right now, Babak? Yeah, it's nice. It's warm, it's sunny. You can see the people playing here beach volleyball without being cold. There's quite a few people chilling on the beach and things like this, relaxing. I'm quite surprised. There's quite a few people here in the chat today. And following the live stream, I thought there would be more people celebrating Christmas. Let me know when you do the Christmas thing, if it's 24th or 25th in your country. Just write in the chat 24th, 25th, maybe 26th even. Says Catrova, I stayed in Santa Ponsa and visited Palma Nova. Did book for June, but got cancelled maybe next year. Yeah, so if you booked for this June, the June of 2020, then most likely I understand it was cancelled. I think definitely next year. I hope they find a way to do it safe, but it's not possible for many of the hotels to do another year like this, and also for many of the people working here. So this is also one of the reasons I make these videos, because I want to show you that life pretty much goes on. People go to bars, go to restaurants, they go to the beach, but everyone's clever about it, you know. Most people respect the rules, put on the face mask and things like this, because they know their livelihood depends on it. So for this reason, it's also one of the reasons I make these videos, just to show you that in general life goes on, and hopefully to show you that it's quite safe to come here next year, and hopefully in January start booking your holidays. Because I know a lot of people here on Mallorca, because this is the island I lived most of the time from the somewhat 20 years I was living in Spain. And yeah, a lot of people have it quite rough. They were struggling this year. Most people I know only worked like maybe 4 or 6 weeks, something like this. And the Spanish government is trying to support them, but it's a bit chaotic for some people, especially foreign people who live here, to keep up with all the changes and all the paperwork that needs doing and things like this. So circa Troia. I hope you have a nice holiday next year in June when you're coming here again. Continuing to the last beach here. There's one more here, and then there you also have the port of Palma Nova in the distance, and then behind that you have like this resort on the top, but it's not really part of Palma Nova. If you look it up online, it's called different. I think it's Calapi. I'm terrible with names and things like this for people who watch this channel more often. This is also why I started making the website, because there I have everything structured and correctly written down, because sometimes I cannot remember all the names of the hotels and things. So if you go to the website checkedholidays.com, there you can find all my structured holiday advice. JMO took my friend to Puerto Pollensa 2 years ago for her first ever holiday abroad at the age of 44, and she loved it. So hope we can return next year. Watch many of the videos you upload. Okay, great. We were in Puerto Pollensa yesterday, so if you want to see how Puerto Pollensa is in winter, then you can always have a look there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then just subscribe, and then you can also see all the summer videos and stuff we did from there before 2020, when things were a little bit more normal. But yeah, yesterday we did the live stream from there. You should be able to see it now if you type in Puerto Pollensa and then maybe checked holidays or something. Then it should be one of the first results. Or Puerto Pollensa Winter 2020 should also be one of the first results. Palma Nova is one of these resorts that's very popular with people from the UK. Magaluf also, but Magaluf is like, it's right next to Palma Nova. So my advice would always be, if you want to party but if you don't want to be right in the center of it, just book your hotel in Palma Nova. You can easily walk there. Just look up on the map where it is, or take a taxi or something like this. Unless you're like 20 or something, then you might want to be in the center of Magaluf. Yeah, Palma Nova is actually the place where I started working when I started working in Spain. But I was mostly in Magaluf, of course, because I was what, like 19 or something, 19 or 20 years old when I started here. It was a very different place. JMO75, thank you for subscribing. He says he subscribed now. And we'll look up the Puerto Pollensa video. Yeah, that one we did yesterday, and we also did Pollensa yesterday. Because yesterday we were more on that side of the island. Now we are in Palma Nova, which is the complete opposite side of the island. So Tony, I like your positivity. He's writing basically that there's a lot of money saved up. I hope that is the case, and that will be spent on extra holidays in 2021. I hope that is the case, and I would like to think that is the case for most people. But I think, I don't know the exact numbers, but for a lot of people, they've just had expenses this year and not an income. So they have to pay the rent, they have to pay the water, they have to pay the electricity. But without an income, that's quite hard to do. I've also said one of the reasons I'm here now is my apartment that I have here, I'm renting out to a friend of mine. But she had difficulty paying the rent because also she didn't work this year. And she was going to Sweden for a couple of weeks to do some work and stuff, I think. And then we made the agreement like, okay, you don't pay this month's rent, but then I come here instead, I can make a few of these videos, I can keep busy. And the idea was then after here to fly to Gran Canaria and do more live streams from here. So for me it also worked out very good, because that meant I wouldn't have to leave Spain, and normally that would be easy to fly between the countries without any between the islands without any testing. But in the ending, that's not how it turned out. From everything I understood, Gran Canaria is really empty now because of the new travel restrictions from the UK. So I hope we can get this sorted soon. I'm flying home 27th to Belgium, where I'm originally from, and then I'm doing some work from there. I also run some other channels, not only this channel, I have some other channels on YouTube as well, and some websites and things like this. So I'm gonna be working on that, and when things become a little bit more interesting again, then I instantly fly to Gran Canaria and we do more live streams from there, and I'll keep you updated on how things are. And then in the summer, I want to try and do a month here on the island, just to show everyone it's starting up and like it's fine. And well, I'm going to show you how it is for real, but let's hope that everything will start up and that everything is fine. Just to help Mallorca get a little bit started up. Like I'm always saying, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor. What I can do is quite limited in these times. And I hope that by making these videos I can at least help out the country I lived for so many years and the people here with getting started up a little bit again. So this seems to be the best thing I can do. So we came all the way from the other side. Over there on that mountain, it's like Magaluf. And we are going back there. But first we're going to show you a little bit of Palma Nova, the restaurants and stuff that are open. And we'll be going back to the beach and stuff as well. So I just hope it's not going to rain. It was quite a sunny day this morning. But now I'm not 100% sure what's going on. James the Dashhound, you're new to the channel. Well, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, let me just make a quick introduction. My name is Yves. I lived, worked and traveled for the past 20 years around the islands of Spain. I've also been other places, of course, as well, but working and living mostly on the islands of Spain. So if you're planning on traveling here, then you can ask me any question about them if you have any questions, or you can go to my website at checkedholidays.com, and there you can find all my holiday guides, where to go, when to go, what to do, what not to do, and things like this. So welcome to the channel. And at the moment I'm in Mallorca and we're doing these live streams just to show you a little bit how things are here, because a lot of people asked in the winter. But I also want to show that life goes on here, because if you read the news about Spain, of course a lot of the hotels have closed this summer, and that's not a good thing. So economy wise it's not so good here, but people try to keep their hopes up and try to make the best of it. They go out, they go to bars, they have drinks, they normally try and keep safe, put on the masks and do what is necessary. But in general, on the islands in Spain, the rate is much better than on many of the mainland countries. This I know is much safer here at the moment than it is in Belgium, by example, where I'm going in a couple of months. So yes, James, do continue this little walk with us around Palma Nova in Mallorca. And if you want holiday advice, just ask me in the chat, or you can, if you're not watching this, well, you are watching this live, you can always go and have a look on the website as well. That's checkedholidays.com. And normally in summer all of these restaurants and bars here are open as well, of course, but now it's winter. A lot of things close down in Mallorca in winter, but it seems this year even a little bit more because it's 2020. And yeah, it's been a very different year in general. For me, for the people working here, living here, for the tourists who wanted to come here, so. And for the people who ask what's the weather like, it's actually quite nice today. I'm wearing a jumper and that's a little bit too much of a good thing because yeah, I'm quite warm. Gerard 55, he wrote me what part am I in? I'm Palma Nova in Mallorca at the moment. Palma Nova is, oh, now I have to think a bit, the opposite of north. So north, east, south. It's in the south. More or less in the south. It's when you come from the airport, you drive past Palma, and there you will find Palma Nova, close to Magaluf and Santa Ponsa and Peguera, in that direction. And here you have the Golf Fantasia. It's like one of the things apparently you need to do when you come here that they always try to sell you, but I'm not necessarily sure if it's for everyone. It's just playing mini midget golf. So as you can see, people are sitting outside because you cannot sit in at the moment anymore. It's not allowed, and they're doing the distancing, they're keeping apart from each other and things like this. So everyone is doing their best to make it good and hopefully to have a better year next year. Gerard, your girlfriend has a place in Magaluf. Okay, yeah, we are going to Magaluf later. I'm actually walking in that direction now. And I suppose I'll continue the live stream just straight into Magaluf, and then I'll cut later the video into two parts. So if you're watching this in the live stream, we go straight into Magaluf. If you're watching this later in the replay, then I will have cut the video normally to have a Magaluf video as well. I'm actually quite interested in seeing how it is in Magaluf now, because I think it's been like 3 or 4 years since I last was there. Palma Nova I've been more recently. I think it's 2 years ago or something. But Magaluf seems to be quite a while since I was last there. Gerard says, try Torn Browns, good family place, nice food. Is that in Magaluf or in Palma Nova? Because a lot of people ask me this through the website and through the live chats, like where's a nice place to eat. Well, I don't know for every place in Spain I've lived and worked where's the nice places to eat, because restaurants, they change so fast. But my advice is always, if you have the Google Maps app, you can type in restaurants and then you can sort by where the locals go. And if you use that pretty much everywhere where I've used it in Europe, you always find a good restaurant. Don't sort it by star reviews or anything like this, or rating. Just sort it by where the locals go and then see where is the good ratings between those restaurants. That says where the locals go. And that's normally really the true best places. The rating system you can always game a little bit. It's not always reliable. I think you have similar things on Yelp and some other, like TripAdvisor. I'm not 100% sure if you can organize on TripAdvisor where the locals go, but I know for sure you can do it in Google Maps. And everyone has pretty much access to Google Maps. So Magaluf beachfront, Torn Browns, good family. Well, we're walking there now. Are you here now, Gerard 55? I'm actually surprised there's so many people watching this live stream now. I thought 24th of December that it was not gonna be a lot of people watching, simply because for a lot of people this means it's Christmas, or they celebrate Christmas around this time. So I'm happily surprised that you are here with me today. And I hope if you're gonna go out celebrating this evening that you make it a nice one. Normally I'm always, when I'm in Belgium with Christmas, I cook a big Christmas dinner with all the stuffings and the toppings and these kind of things. Like 4 or 5 courses and some cakes and, you know, the works. But now I'm here and I'm only going to be here a couple more days. There's not really a point to doing that. Also, I'm trying to stay these last days that I'm here a little bit away from people. I don't want to have any people over, just to make sure that when I fly home everything is safe and everything's fine, you know. So for me, Christmas is gonna be these live streams and maybe some what's it called, warm-up dinner, something like this. No, warm-up dinner is not the right name. TV dinner, that's what they call it. David Boone, I love your live streams. A very Merry Christmas to you. Well, thank you, it's very much appreciated. So is it Christmas now, the 24th of December? Do you call Christmas 24th of December? Because in Belgium it's 25th of December, but I know a lot of people they do the 24th. So. Gerard, you're in cold Scotland now. Okay, so you're not here at the moment. And this area of Palma Nova is like where they have a lot of it's not like clubbing, but like music bars or whatever you want to call it. Like there's some live music and it's like a bit more pop music, this kind of like not the real clubbing thing. I suppose Palma Nova is like a little bit where when you've had it with Magaluf, if it's all too busy and you're getting a little bit more old, I think you start moving to Palma Nova then. I think that's the best way to explain it. Because the first years I was working here in Palma Nova and we went to Magaluf all the time, it was, yeah. I think it's good for 1 or 2 years, but nothing more like that. Especially because we worked here and then we had this kind of deals, like you're supposed to, back then, 20 years ago, you were supposed to bring some people from the hotel and advise them where to go because you had so much contact with them. And then you got like each night that you wanted to go out, we had like club cards from a lot of different places. And with one of the club cards for the MCP, which is the Magaluf Club Pass is called now, you could go into 4 different places, free entrance, where normally it was like 10 euros or something back then. But you also got like one drink, whatever drink you wanted, for free in all 4 places. So if you just walked around a bit, which you anyway do because you look where the party is, I always had like 4 whiskey cokes. And then there was Mulligan's and another place that was connected with Mulligan's, and there you could get like a pint of beer in each one, also for free each night. So a normal night, not really going out, was like 4 whiskey cokes and 2 pints. And that was if you didn't go to the BCM. Gerard, if I did the pirate show, no, I did not. I was just there once on like a quick invite, and I had a little bit at the show, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes or something, just to see what it was like. But I did not see the entire show. But I suppose because it's been here so many years, and each year it gets so many people, and I also know a lot of people who worked there, and they were quite professional at what they did. I think it's definitely a must. It's also something I advise to go to on my website, checkedholidays.com. You go to Mallorca, and then you go to things to do and not do, I think I called it. And the pirate show is definitely in the things to do. So if you're looking to plan a holiday to Mallorca, go and have a look there, definitely. So let's read some more of the comments here. No, I'm in cold Scotland. Hola. I'm 100% sure he was talking to me, but I think he was on the phone. Thought he was either a nutter or on the phone, or complaining about me filming. But apparently he was on the phone. So we're walking on. Don't forget to click that like button and subscribe if you want to see more of these updates. This channel has a lot of, if you look at the videos I did before, It's more like travel advice videos, where I give like tips and tricks and things like this. But since 2020, a lot of things have changed, and I'm trying to move this channel more to like an updates channel, so you can see how things are and get you inspired to start traveling here a little bit again. And you can always, as I said, it's also easier because I don't like so much that I have some videos on YouTube, they stay there so long. After a while they do get a little bit outdated. And it's just much more easy on the website because it's typing, it's writing and pictures. It's just so much easier to keep everything fresh and up to date. So I want to do more of these live streams and less of the travel videos, and just advise you to go to the website if you want any travel advice, any up-to-date, correct, independent travel advice. Tony, I did a pirate show 7 times. Jeez, that's many. Brilliant show. Last time was 13 years ago though. Okay. Yeah, I hope you had a good time. 7 times, that must mean something, that it was really good. And do they change it also quite a lot? You must have a good comparison if you did it 7 years. I know they always update it a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure if they really change it over the years. Gerard, you saw me on the McMaster channel. That's true. He actually helped me a lot when I was in Tenerife, because I talked to him before about some things. I don't know exactly how we got first into contact with each other. I think I gave him some tips on something, and then when I was in Tenerife, because he does a lot of live streams, if you don't know McMaster, just type McMaster Tenerife and he will show up on your screen normally. He does a lot of vlogs from there, but also he does other things as well, like I saw him do like phone case reviews and other travel advice and vlogs from the UK, but there's a lot of Tenerife stuff from him. And I lost my train of thought for a second. Yeah, the McMaster Tenerife. Gerard first saw me on this channel, and we did do some collabs while I was in Tenerife. When I was in Tenerife, that was like a month and a half ago or something like this. We did some collabs in Tenerife, and it was actually quite interesting to meet the guy. We talked a little bit about YouTube. We do 2 very different things. We agreed to that. Then we do 2 very different things. Mine is kind of travel advice and travel inspiration, I would call it, some of my videos, but he more does like sketches and tricks and updates and this kind of stuff. So I like some funny bits, and I would in general say he's a bit more he makes more entertaining videos than I do. I do more like factual videos. Tony, your kids loved it. Your kids loved what? The McMaster or what? Anito Bananas. Also been like a place that's been here for so many years. Some things have changed, but like some staples of Palma Nova, they stay the same. You can definitely say that. I lived up here in an apartment, one of those apartments, the first year I was here. I never had so many cucarachas, cockroaches. But I actually also had like a place, like somewhere in the back of the hotel I was working at that time, which was much nicer. You had like air conditioning, the bar close by, so that was nicer. I stayed there more often. Ah, they love the pirate show. Okay, now I understand. Definitely. So if you've seen it 7 times, then you must have come quite a lot to Mallorca. There's a lot of people who come here every year. I would kind of advise you a little bit to explore some of the other islands as well, if you want to, because especially in the winter the Canary Islands are very nice. And just across the water you have Menorca here. Menorca is really nice. It's very different from Mallorca, of course, but the Menorca, the best way actually to say it is like it's like Mallorca was like 30 years ago. Not that they're not modern and not up to date, but when it comes to like busyness and development and the amount of hotels that are there, it's just all a lot more chill and relaxed kind of. So let me just continue here a little bit towards the end of Palma Nova, and then we'll later head on into Magaluf. It's a little bit difficult to say sometimes where Magaluf starts and Palma Nova ends, but also you have Torre Nova, but everyone just calls it basically Magaluf. So this is basically with all the places on all the islands I've lived to. Was in Santa Ponsa. Wait, let's see, Gerard, next time we out getting a car to see other parts of the island, can't wait. Gerard, definitely do. I always rent a car wherever I go, but watch out a little bit. In the last couple of years there's kind of like these trickster companies also for car rental. So if you want to see all my tips and tricks and the companies I used, you can also find them on my website checkedholidays.com/cars, where you can find like a safe and easy way to rent a car on all the Spanish islands, but it also works for many other places in Europe at least. I don't know if it all applies to countries outside of Europe, but within the European Union most of the stuff there does apply. Tony was in Santa Ponsa each year from 1997 to 2007. Hope to return next year as well. Jeez, that's a long time. I started working in Mallorca when I think it was 2001 or 2 or something like this. And then I started working here in Palma Nova in a hotel behind me called Viva Palma Nova. Now it's called Safira Palma Nova. It's basically the same company, just under a different name. So, but the hotel has changed completely inside. And here you have the dive center. I did that once. Here, do a little bit of diving, but I haven't got any training or something for it. So. walk up there and walk inwards a little bit. Gerard's favorite part of Spain and why? That is so difficult. Because your favorite part is where you had the best memories, basically, you know. So it's not like that really is necessarily the best place to go to. But for me, I think in Palma Nova I had a lot of good memories, a lot of bad memories as well, but like mostly really good ones, really fun ones. But also in the middle of night, I don't know even if I should say this, but no, there's too many funny, weird stuff that happened here. I'm not going to go into detail because maybe that's a little bit too much detail. What was I saying? Yeah, Palma Nova I very much like. Then there's also other places in Spain that I like. Alicante I very much liked, which was on the mainland. Because it's just a real nice, authentic, real place with great food, I remember. And Puerto de la Cruz, I think, is still one of my favorites. But also Santa Cruz and Las Palmas. Also for that same reason, because it's not so touristy, it's like real places. There come a lot of tourists there, but the vast majority is non-touristy. So yeah, those are, I think, Las Palmas, Las Palmas de Gran Canaria is in Gran Canaria, Santa Cruz in Tenerife, Puerto de la Cruz, and then also Alicante, of course Alcudia here, but yeah, it's hard to say my real favorite place. For the people who don't know it, we are heading into Magaluf now, and I'll start a second live stream from here. Just keep on watching, you don't need to go away. But I'll do a new introduction from here, and then I'll cut this one later into 2 separate videos. So let me just catch my breath a little bit, and then we'll continue from here.